Hi, Bailey. Hi, Killian. We're going to read a book. We are going to read Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree. Okay? Ready? Sure? Okay. Here we go. Mr. Willowby's Christmas Tree. Do you have your Christmas tree yet? I don't. Mr. Willowby's Christmas tree came by special delivery, full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. Look how big that tree is. Here's where Mr. Willowby lives. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd been waiting for. "A magnificent tree, splendid," he cried. "Please, sir, won't you carry it right inside?" He's very excited. "I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here." What do you think? Does that sound like a good place to be? But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willowby made a terrible face. The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh, good heavens, something must go. See it bent at the top? Baxter the butler was called in on haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. "That's great," Mr. Willowby cried with glee. "Now we can start to trim my tree." When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, "I know just who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree." You see? It cut the top off. So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willowby's upstairs maid. See, there it is on a silver platter, and he takes it upstairs to Miss Adelaide. "Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have trimmed it later tonight?" What are Stella and Chester barking at? Think maybe there's a Christmas tree at the door? Nah. "But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid, will have to be cut," sighed Miss Adelaide. So she had the same problem. She put it in her room, and look. And so with scissors sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in back of the house to be thrown away. So she snipped it off, and then she threw it in the trash can. That little tree top caught the eye of Tim, the gardener, passing by. He was certainly not about to see that little tree thrown out. See? There it is in the trash can, and he's going to pick it up. He hurried it right home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa-la-la, surprise, surprise, his wife could not believe her eyes. "But our house is so snug and small, I do not believe we need it all." And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. See? Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now, who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day? "I'll take it home. That's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I have a present for you." So the bear finds it, and he takes it home to Mrs. Bear. Think Mrs. Bear's going to like that? "Isn't it a pretty tree?" yawned Mama Bear quite drowsily. "Before we go to sleep this year, let's have a Christmas party, dear." Uh-oh, what do you see? Again? But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, "That tree won't hold a star." Barnaby said, "Let's cut a hunk off the bottom here at the trunk." But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the treetop off instead. Again. See? "Jolly by golly," Barnaby said with a kick. "Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honeys and rings, some berries and tinsel, and popcorn on strings." They're very happy. Mama said, trim it as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we won't need anymore. I'll just put it outside the door. There we go again. There it goes outside the door. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, and opened his sack and stuffed it in. There it is. He was going to get it. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. It's even better than mincemeat pie, said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Here's Mr. Fox giving it to Mrs. Fox. She's very happy. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. There, my dears, now don't you worry. I'll fix this top now in a hurry. And guess what she did? What'd she do? Did she snip it off again? There it goes. How many houses do you think this tree is going to be in? Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seems he thought most certainly Santa left that for my family. He's finding what the foxes threw out. Look, he cried, see the tree I found? With that he called his family round. Then there was merrymaking, rollicking, frolicking, carrot-shaking, celebration around the tree. All were happy as rabbits can be. Look at all the rabbits. Lots and lots of rabbits. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. Now let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook. But right away the children cried, look, it's leaning off to one side. Oh no, not again. It's too tall, that's all, said Mrs. Rabbit, and as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw it away. Again. Then Mistletoe Mouse just happened to see the tiny tip of a Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. It's just the right size, says Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese. See? Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree? Exactly. Like Mr. Willowby. There's Mr. Willowby asleep in his chair with his tree, and there's the little tree. Isn't that neat? That's cool. Take pictures of your Christmas tree so Grandma and Grandpa can see it, okay? Love you. Bye-bye.